I just got done driving 1,000 miles on this baby. So I won't tell you how I liked it and some things that were very different to me. So check out this video. Alright, let's do a first impression of driving the Model 3. Getting out of this bright sun. It's a sunny morning here in California. Wow. Got plenty to get up and go. Such a quiet vehicle. Whee! You mash the gas, it's going to go, baby. It is going to go like crazy. Oh, I keep on giving it little moments where I floor it. I'm not driving it like I stole it, but I'm driving decently. Let's talk about the charging and the range for a second. Currently, I have 158 miles left on this charge. The camera focus. What's cool is you can see, if you had a trip, you can see your functioning of how much watt hours per mile you used. Sort of like your fuel consumption. So I've averaged about 224 watt hours per mile, which is pretty decent. And you can see this touchscreen is everything that you're going to use for the car. And you can see I've done 1,035 miles. And my average watt hour mile was 219. And that was through mountains and everything. This car is a long range Model 3. It's one of the first Model 3s that were ever produced. So the battery, I've got probably about 310 miles per charge, meaning it's not really lost any of its battery life in the last 3 years, because this is 2020. Charging was so cool. It would take like 30 minutes or so to charge. The highest I saw it charge, or estimated time to charge, was like 50 minutes. But it didn't take 50 minutes. And at charging stations, you typically have restrooms, food, maybe some entertainment. You have a whole lot of things to do in the car while you're charging. Like, just simply from the home screen, just tap the up button, and you've got, of course, your cameras. You've got the internet that you can pull up. I'll try it again. You get the internet, so you can do whatever you want on the internet. Then you have entertainment. You can watch Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Twitch, learn more about your car. And then there's games. I actually did play a game. I wasn't pretty good at it, but there's a ton of games you can play. Okay. And then there is a toy box. So, you can do farting, which is pretty funny. You can even make the car fart on turn signals. Oh, that was funny to prank some friends. You can record a track. You can start a fire on the screen. There's just a bunch of cool different little things that you can do while you're charging. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the comfort. Now, this car is very smooth riding. It's very quiet, because really the only thing you hear is maybe, if you're sitting still like this, you might hear the air conditioning going. You might just hear the fan. In the back of the car, you'll hear, boo, because this is a rear rear wheel drive one. That's just the electric motors going. It doesn't bother you. You do hear more road noise than, let's say, a typical car, but that's just because you don't have an engine to muffle it out. Now, the seats, I've heard a lot of people complain, get my camera to focus, complain about these Gen 1 seats. Okay, you can see they're leather. Got my mask over there. I did not find these seats to be uncomfortable. I thought they had plenty of cushion. I liked them. Okay, they're very simple to me. Easy to keep clean. Love leather. One of the complaints I have, I'll have to show you. Okay, is getting out of this thing. It is a car. I get that. Okay, to open the door, you have to hit this button right here. Okay, and your window is going to roll down a little bit. Okay, you can see it just a little bit. But, I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's just different. So then when you close the door, the window goes up. So I guess it makes it airtight. I don't know. The steering wheel, it's pretty simple. You've only got 2 knobs that actually move both ways. So it's a very clean and simple design. As you can see, there's just a huge touchscreen. And you got this nice wood trim. One thing I really like about the Tesla is it will drive itself. Like right now, I'm not putting my foot on the brake. I'm not doing anything. It is driving for me. Freaking amazing. Now, it will tell me, you know, like, hey, you need to put your hands on the wheels every so often. But, you know, right now, it's cruising by itself. I love to cruise. We're cruising. I mean, what more can you ask? I do want to show y'all some of the functions, some of the cool things about this car. Now, this is called the frunk. Hey, look, Mom, no engine. So this is on the front of the car. It's pretty cool. Get my camera to work right. And you can put any kind of stuff you want to put up here, like maybe your groceries. I did not find a drain underneath this mat. There's no kind of drain like that. But you do have like little clips you can use for bags and stuff. Pretty cool. I did sit here for a sunset and watch that. Now, one of the complaints I have about this car is you have to gently press on it. You know, it's not power, but that's fine. Not the end of the world. So, pretty cool looking car. I nicknamed it like the space shuttle because I've turned it off and it's made some crazy noises. It's just the fans. Looking on the ends, let me show you about the door handles. Okay, so to get in this car, you have to, right here, and you have to pull out on this little handle. Pretty cool. And you can see a lot of space. I did haul some friends around, and we were comfortable with it, 3 of us. Back seat, same concept. You can see it's got a decent amount of room. It does have a glass roof on the crossbar in the center. And you do have air vents for your passengers. Now, the trunk is here. You can see in the trunk there's a lot of space. Okay. I do have my bag in here. One of them have been thrown in it. Look how big this trunk is. It's huge. And then you've got still more space down there. And the Model Y would have space here. This one does not. Overall, pretty sweet ride. One thing I have noticed, and looking at Turo, is that a lot of people will scuff the rims up, just like these are, just from curb rash and not knowing how to drive. A little keychain. So to unlock or lock the car with the fob or with the card, you just put your thing there or there. So that unlocks it and locks it. And put it on, unlock it, it'll honk. And do it again, it'll honk. And during this time, your mirrors, they're power fold. They will open if it's unlocked, or they'll close if it's locking. So to get into the car, to actually get it to go, there's no stop or go. Okay. In the Volkswagen, I hit start. On the Tesla, you just take in the camera. Let me. You point down here to the column. Put your foot on the brake. Tap right there, and you will see and hear some chimes of like it's starting. Kind of different. Now let's talk about how I rented this thing. I used an app called Turo. I'll put in a link below so that we both get a discount if you use my referral code. I had originally booked with Enterprise a small SUV, but after consideration about fuel mileage, I wasn't concerned really about that. I was concerned about the gas prices. At home, our gas prices right now are about $1.75. Out here in California, you're going to basically add $1.25 to that per gallon. So I was like, I don't really want to have to fork out $200 extra on top of the $300. I don't see that happening. So I got to doing some research. I watched a couple of Ryan Shaw videos. Had already loved watching Tesla videos before. I really wanted to try Tesla, and Ryan Shaw was talking about renting his Tesla out. I'm like, okay, that works. So I got on Turo, and I found this Model 3. I'm like, okay, that's cool. It had autopilot, it had summon feature. Can't do that with the key I have. I liked the car, and it was a little bit more. I'd say probably $75 at most. But I didn't have to worry about paying for gas. Instead, I did a little bit of charging. So with my charging, I spent roughly about $66. Now, the first supercharging that I went to, they took a whole lot more, it cost a whole lot more money, and that brings me to the next point. Not all superchargers are the same. You have different levels, like level 1, level 2. I believe they came out with a level 3 recently. And what that is the amount of power they send to your car. It's very simple to charge these things, and your screen will show you, let's show you again. On the charging, it will show you how many miles till empty. You can set your limit, because with a Tesla, you don't want to always keep your charge at 100%. This guy has his set at 91%, which is fine. But if you want to adjust it, you just hit set limit. Real simple. And when you're supercharging, it will say, okay, you have 15 minutes remaining, whatever. And it will show you charging, and it will show you your speeds, and then it will show you your cost. As you can see, my last charge was $12. Now, compared to a regular car, it would have been more. And so this car is very cheap to drive. It would be even cheaper if you could charge it at your house, because supercharging can get a little pricey. Like I said, just depending on your location and where it's at. Now let's talk about my final thoughts. Would I buy one? Yes. Would I buy one tomorrow? Probably not. I currently, where I live, I do not have any kind of superchargers. Tesla is increasing the amount of superchargers they have, and they're constantly adding more. Out here in California, you can find one real easily. At my house, you can't. Doesn't mean I can't buy one and people don't. It just means that it would be a little bit harder for me to find a supercharger or whatever. I do plan in the future to buy a Model Y. I do like the Model 3, but I miss, you can see the back, I miss having the back end. A little bit more space for cargo and that kind of stuff. I do think that Tesla has improved. I did notice with the autopilot that it was a little bit buggy. This is a 3-year-old car, I get that. And I know they improve every year. Okay, there were some build quality issues with this car, like some panel gapping. That was common on all the Model 3s initially, but they've worked it out. Just like everybody else. They're going to improve as time goes on. The range on this car was 310 miles or so. Yeah, that's fine. Long range, that would be perfect for me. Okay, I would like to see the battery life go longer or further, and they will do that when they get to solid states. But overall, it's a great car, very stress-free, relaxing, easy to drive. You put it on autopilot, and you have to move the wheel every so often, and it'll beep beep at you. So you move the wheel and it's fine. It does what it's supposed to. Now, the front adaptive cruise control that works with autopilot, it can be a little buggy. Like, I've had it put on brakes for no reason, and just because maybe it was a leaf in the road or something other triggered the sensor and it didn't like it. But I mean, they tell you, it says on the screen to watch and pay attention, be ready to take over. And so if you take over, you're fine. It will take the blue autopilot off and you'll be good to go. It will leave cruise control still enabled, which is a good thing. You just tap your brakes for that. Now, I didn't talk about the brake situation. I have this car set up for basically one pedal driving. So when I let my foot off the gas, it gradually slows down. There's been some times where it didn't stop as short as I wanted it to, so I just tapped the brakes a little bit and it stopped. Most people are not used to it. I live on a farm. We have a lot of Kubota products, and that's one of their things with the original RTV. Okay, the RTV, love it to death. Put over 700-800 hours on it. I can't remember this time. But you let off the gas, it stops. Just like this with the Tesla. It's called regenerative braking on the Tesla. And so what will happen is, at your top of your screen, it will have this line here. If you're using a lot of power, the line's going to go over here in black. But if you're regenerative braking, the green, and it will have a green bar, and it will light up over here, showing that it's putting more battery into the charge. And there has been a few cases, especially going down the hills and mountains, that I would gain actual miles back for my charge, which was amazing. Who doesn't love getting more energy? So yes, I would buy this car. I probably wouldn't buy the car itself. I would buy a Model Y. Just because I like the space of it. But the Model 3 is so much. They share a lot of common traits. And so that's why I wanted to look at the Model 3. I think I enjoyed this trip a lot more than I would in, let's say, a Toyota. Okay, 1,000 miles is, for some people, that's too much driving. They've never done that in their life. Me, it didn't bother me at all. Like I said, I just set it on cruise, set it on autopilot, and I was good to go. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I do know that this was a different video than what I've done before, but I thought, let's share a tip. My channel's name is Always on the Move, so we got to talk about how we got on the move for this trip. Thanks, y'all.